pretty much just like their web one.
Oh,
Plus,
really?
I also don't have to pay the monthly fee to access it.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
The only time you have to pay that, basically, I mean, if you want their free games they give out for everything, and if you want to play like multiplayer stuff, then they ask that you pay a fee. But other than that, they're like, whatever.
That is when their services aren't getting hacked and your credit card information given out to anybody. And I know that's only happened 3 times, but
Only 3.
I'm sure it won't happen again for a while. I'm kidding, Zato.
No, nothing as secure as people think it is.
Oh, I know. Well, and then those guys, Sony should know better. Why?
When it came to that, some of the damn arguments were, we did this attack because we didn't feel that they were being as secure as they should have been. I'm like, okay, I'm guessing the irony is lost on you, because
they won't listen to us and they won't fix the holes, so we're gonna rip the whole thing down.
That's like saying you robbed somebody because you didn't think that they were preparing themselves enough when they were walking out to the car at night to not be robbed. So it's kind of like,
well, what about those assholes
shit
that like check every single person's car until they find a car that's unlocked, and then they rip everything out of it, and they're like, well, they should have locked their doors. It's like, that's not how it works.
They deserved it because they didn't lock their doors, you see. Because that's what a lot of people said about the Sony thing. Well, you deserve to have your information stolen and whatever financial crap happens to you because you decided to buy services from a company that didn't protect you as much as we think they should have, kind of thing. Like, it's a twisted way of thinking.
It is. It's a very sick way of thinking. And they cause so much...
twisted way of thinking.
And they cause so much damage. And it's very rarely... I mean, Sony could never recoup that. I mean, they'll make the money back, but there won't be, like, a net recuperation of that money. Because what are you going to do? Sue somebody for $300 million? You know, what good does that do? Their, like, next 500 generations of their family line would be paying it off. Which is stupid if you count inflation or the fact that it's just, there aren't systems in place appropriate enough to do anything about it. Agreed, but that doesn't mean that people should be destroying each other's shit.
Just because they feel that you're not.
Yeah.
No, I told you to, you need to be prepared for a fire. That's why I set your house on fire, because I didn't think you were preparing enough to, like, that's just like, what?
Yeah, thank you. I guess.
That was very helpful.
Yeah, you really...
Well, that seems to be like, I don't know, I mean, I don't know if it's just the troll stuff or what, but it's very,
That's the troll mentality.
like, just the shit people say, and I'm like, Just like how people don't think you're allowed to, like, criticize games and things.
Yes.
Like, oh, I paid this much, like, early access games and stuff people criticize.
Yeah.
Well, you should be doing the research and finding out who these companies are. You deserve it if you
Sell
bought
you a
something
shit
and they didn't
game.
give any, and that kind of stuff is always
Yeah, but look at...
thinking, like, what? Wait, so you're blaming me because the company's not forthcoming?
Here's the thing, though. Like, the new SimCity, I know we've talked about this before. How could anybody have forecasted that... How long were their servers down for? Like 2 weeks? I mean, it was like a long time that those servers were down. You couldn't have. I mean, I had a bad feeling about it just because I'm super pessimistic, and it was weird that they waited until the day of to turn the servers on and everything, and what you really should have, like, staged everybody in somehow.
Oh, crap, Sims is launching tomorrow. We should probably test those servers. That's kind of probably what happened.
Wah, wah. So, oops. Shame on them. But, when...
Well, shame on you, because...
Oh, that's right.
Right, see.
Well, here's what I do. I know I've already told you this before, but it bears repeating many, many, many times. If the reviewers aren't allowed to test multiplayer, if people aren't allowed to post their reviews until day of, if they're not allowing any YouTube videos until the day of, there's cause for concern if it's a big game.
And some of them, they won't. It's the reviews are allowed the day of, but it has to be after like 3 p.m. or something.
Yeah.
Enough time for people to rush out and buy it.
Yeah.
And then get home and open it up and be like, I just wasted $60.
Oh yeah, because GameStop's not going to take it back.
But that is your fault for not investing in that company early enough to find out what they were doing, and if they had any internal problems, because we all have access to that stuff, and if it was going to turn into like an Aliens Colonial Marines thing or not.
Or
That's
like
your
LA
fault.
or LA Noire, where
Yeah.
they launched the game and promptly closed down the studio. Or I think the same thing happened at Slant 6, which is the people that made ORC. I love that game, but I think they disbanded that company after ORC or something like that. I can't. I'm gonna look it up. But that's what I heard. I had a non-disclosure hoo-ha for this game called Discourse, and I got early access to it and everything, but I couldn't post anything until day of. But I could post it at like midnight, and it was a good faith thing. But they're really good people, so I wasn't gonna screw them. And I paid for my copy. They just let me have it early to get my videos ready, make sure it played and installed fine and stuff. It was actually really nice of them. And they're the first ones that have ever done that. But I think like 3 hours prior, so I think some of the East Coasters started posting it around 9 p.m. day before, which isn't that big of a deal. But the consoles, if you had done that, your account would be getting fucking banned. And your YouTube channel would be getting strikes against it and shit, and you'd be fighting it for 2 months.
Well, like that Jim Quisition guy that I watch, he has a lot of stuff like that. He's had his channel, like companies come after him and kind of do infringement things on him because he gets their games. He's like a reviewer, and he gets their stuff, and he's like, you want people to pay, $50 for this, really? It's like it's not even working, and then you have the defenders popping in saying crap, and it's like, well, all you have to do is like email the devs and get the directions on how to play it. I'm like, no.
Nobody's gonna do that.
Like if it's if you're doing early access, that means there's some playable version of the game.
Yeah. And
you should be able to give all the information you need for that.
Yeah.
But expect bugs, expect this, that kind of thing, because again, it's not. That's enough of a disclaimer to kind of there you go. But yeah.
Oh, I know. I mean, that's one of the big reasons why I didn't buy the new Resident Evil game. They pulled the same shit that they pulled with Resident Evil 6, where they're releasing the game, quote-unquote, officially launched, missing tons of functionality that maybe they didn't 100% commit to all of it. I'm not even sure now, and I don't even know if it matters. But it launched apparently on the PC without couch co-op, local co-op, which is weird. I don't even know how you do that on PCs, and I don't think it supported 2 monitors. And it didn't have that either. And they didn't launch raid mode, which is a core part of Revelations. Well, they still haven't launched it. I guess it launches here in a couple days. Why the fuck would you give them any money? And they released them in episodes, and then they released the whole game at the very end. So if you don't like it, they still have got some money from you. I don't know. It's dirty. And if the game has co-op available locally, people are trying to say like, oh, you don't need co-op in a horror game. It's like, you fucking idiot. Because they're like, just go play Left 4 Dead. It's like, don't you understand it has local co-op already? All I'm asking for is online co-op. And they're like, online co-op would never work. You shouldn't be playing it that way. Because that's not how these games are meant to be played. And it's like, fuck. All we're asking, they're like, how would you even coordinate that? I don't want to follow somebody around with a flashlight. It's like, you don't have to play it. It already has local co-op. Just fucking make online co-op. Why would you do that? And on PC, how would you even... Fuck. Oh, it's so stupid. It is so stupid.
And it's like, going to get these companies being worried about, oh, you know, this is our first thing, it could ruin us. And I'm like, yeah, but then you don't do early access. You don't do that.
Yeah.
Because it's going to get out either way.
Yeah, stop asking for people's money for years and then shit out on everybody. Because they're ruining it for everybody when they do that. Like, Darkest Dungeon, I still haven't bought into Darkest Dungeon yet, even though it looks like an amazing game, because I am really leery about early access when I don't know the company, and they seem really nice, but I don't know them, and unless I know them, I'm not going to be doing it, especially early access. I will on Kickstarter.
Well, when they have like
they're
those,
reputable, but
when they have those kind of disclaimers and stuff, it always makes it seem a little shadier to me, to where it's,
yeah,
I feel like you're trying to hide something, not,
yeah,
you know, be open, because you're doing, it's like, it feels like you're hiding something. It's not, whether you are or not, it's a whole other thing, but you just saying that kind of comes across as, oh, so what don't you want us to know about, or tell people about? There's obviously something that you're not going to do, or
yeah, something. The ball's going to get dropped somewhere.
Yeah.
And for and Capcom, their reputation is so tarnished. Are you going outside? Love you lots. Capcom. In fact, I was just watching this thing, I think it was yesterday, like how bad Capcom has fucked people. And just on the Mega Man franchise, it was a very long video. They have canceled so many Mega Man games that were almost done that people would have bought that had very successful, you know, prequel, you know what I mean. They just kept fucking canceling them. And that's only on one of their franchises. They're notorious for this. And Resident Evil 6 was a bomb. Oh my gosh, that game was so fucking terrible. And the reviews for that were really good for about a day. And then the reviews, all of a sudden, the meta scores went down to like the 5.0s.
And that's like the devs are really like on Steam. They can come in there and actually change things out to make it.
They can
nope. You're not going to say bad things about it.
They can erase reviews and stuff, I think, or they can just get the reviews thumbs down. And
because like the game he did tonight, it was like, he's like, when I bought it was $50. He's like, when I bought it, there's all these, he's like, there was some negative things on there, which it's like, okay. He's like, and I go back and it's all like positive stuff. Like
Weird.
That's all that's on there, and it's like, that's really strange.
Well, there was this game I was looking at. It was only $5, and I think it's from a reputable company. I didn't know how to look on there to see what other games, if I'd already had one of their games or not. But I was looking, and the top comment with the most votes said, I sat there when I played the game and did nothing. It was boring. 0 out of 10. I shit you not. That was the top vote. The top voted fucking review. And so I can understand, maybe, why they would have some powers to review stuff, because that's bogus. I feel terrible for those people. If that's the place that I've already played a game from, because the graphics look exactly the same. But the second one looked honest and fair and everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems like a lose-lose. It seems like no matter who wins, we lose. The customers lose no matter what. I wasn't done shooting people.
Well, there's a big thing about like, oh, you don't pre-order games, and it's like.
Oh, I know.
But there's such that, but then they try putting in all that set of kind of crap. The
pre-order bonuses.
Yeah, and then I really hate the. And it's stuff to me like they're kind of leaving out of games at times too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because like, well, if they're doing all that crap, I'm like.